All right, we are back on Morning Line. During the commercial break, she shares funny pictures of her pets.
I do. They're funny.
Her dog Harper was giving you the lip.
She had her lips stuck. It was stuck up like that. She's just staring at me.
Awesome, aren't they? All right, this is Allison Fields, and we're taking your calls about pets. Lines open if you want to jump in. Some folks waited through the break, and Sheila is up next. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
Oh.
How can we help you?
Well, I have an older dog. She's probably about 18, and I woke up, and she has like an indentation on her head on one side. But she's acting fine, and I thought maybe she'd had a stroke. But she's playing, she's eating, everything looks good. All besides that.
Why did you think she had a stroke?
Well, just because of the indentation on the top of her head, and her face kind of looks funny.
What do you mean an indentation? I mean, did something hit her?
A stroke would happen inside.
But no, nothing hit her.
Okay, so a stroke would happen inside the brain, so we wouldn't really probably see any external things with that. But I definitely would run her into the vet and just have them take a look. Sometimes we can have muscle loss that we don't notice on a daily basis. And
overnight?
Then one day,
yeah.
Would you stop and listen?
Something else is going on here. I can sense it. We need Dr. House.
Oh my God, I'm trying to be the doctor, but you won't let me.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Sometimes things happen that it's like watching kids grow. You have a child in your house and it gets bigger, but you don't really notice on a daily basis how much it grows, and you go away for a weekend or you send it to camp and it comes back and you're like, you grew a foot. He didn't grow a foot in the week. It's been happening, but we just recognize it. So sometimes we will see things like this in muscle loss in dogs that's been going on for a while, but then all of a sudden we see it for whatever reason. We can also have some things that happen, like you said, the side of the face looks a little funny, that happen where we can lose nerve function on one side of the face. It's like what happens in people, Bell's palsy.
Yes.
You know, people can lose everything on one side of the face. We don't know why it happens, and it's self-limiting and it goes away. So sometimes something like that, which is called Horner syndrome in dogs, can happen. But I'm glad that we're acting okay, eating and drinking and everything else, but maybe give the vet a call and see if you can get her in to get checked out in the next day or so, just to make sure.
Yeah, it's a good call. At least she's doing well.
Yeah.
And you're right. A stroke would be internal.
Correct.
Okay.
You wouldn't really see anything with that.
Let's go to Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
How can we
Sandra.
help you?
My question is about hypothyroidism, if I'm pronouncing it right,
In dogs or cats?
in cats.
So hyperthyroidism.
19-year-old. I had them on a special diet and the medication, and I had a 19-year-old I had to put down because she got in such bad shape.
Yeah, probably due to kidney failure as opposed to the hyperthyroidism.
Yes, ma'am, it kept happening. Well, she has a sister, and she's also 19. They were born at the same time. And now she has it, and she's going through the same thing. And what I wanted to know is, I have a bunch of other cats also, and I want to know if it's common, if all cats will get it, or just certain ones.
Good question. I have the hiccups. So hyperthyroidism in cats happens in older cats, and it's not contagious. It's not, it may be hereditary because they're siblings, if they are true siblings. But the unfortunate thing about a 19, and probably one of the reasons that you had them for you have them for 19 years, is that hyperthyroidism in cats can cause them to drink more, which flushes out the kidneys, which masks the kidney failure. So it's very common when we diagnose a cat with hyperthyroidism that we treat them just like you're doing, either with food or a combination of food and medication, or we now have in Middle Tennessee a radioactive iodine treatment that actually solves the problem. You don't have to medicate your cat ever again, which is fabulous, except in a few cases. But once you get the thyroid under control and they're not drinking as much and all this other stuff, the kidney failure becomes apparent. So usually once we start them on this medication, about 6 or 8 weeks after we have them well controlled, I like to recheck kidney values, because sometimes we go from totally normal to not good once we get the thyroid under control. So that's not unusual what happened. It's unfortunate. And I might start your other 19-year-old cat on renal food like last week, and get that started now and see. I would probably, in her case, skip the hyperthyroid food, go straight for the medication and a kidney diet. All right. Just to try to forestall that. Excuse me.
Interesting. All right, let's go to Wayne. We got Wayne on one. Hi,
Hey,
Wayne.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for the time.
Sure.
I had an experience with a veterinarian. I had a male cat that had a bladder problem, and when I took him to the vet, they examined him, and then they gave me a computer printout of every itemized thing that had to be done. And when I looked at it, I said, well, I can't afford this. So I took it to another vet, and I got the same printout, but it was less than half than the first one. And I was curious. I went to another vet, and it was the same printout. So my question is, when you go to a vet and they diagnose the problem, is there a standardized printout for the diagnosis that's common with all vets so they can be regulated?
No, not at all. It looks like the same printout because they're probably using the same software, just like your receipt from 3 different restaurants in town could be exactly the same with different words because they are using the same software. So they all look the same because those 3 clinics are using the same software, Impromed, Cornerstone, Avamark, whatever. However, I'm guessing your cat was probably blocked and couldn't pee. I don't know if that's right or not, but if it was a large bill and it was a male tomcat and that was, I don't know. But obviously whatever it was easily diagnosable by all 3 vets, and they all were gonna do the same thing because
standard treatment.
If it's a blocked tomcat, you anesthetize, you get blood work, you put an IV catheter in, you put a urinary catheter in, you keep them in the hospital for 3 days, you do this, this, and this. Standard, it's the standard of care of how you treat. It's just they're charging it differently.
So the truth is, on these cases, what he did, he shopped around, and vets have different pricings. Some vets may be more expensive than others, and there can be different things maybe you get with a higher price on some or others, but he did the right thing. Good for you. You had the luxury and the time to do that.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't, especially with the block cat.
Right.
That's an emergency that, animals can die.
Real quick, let's see. Steph, are you there? You get real quick question because we're up against the end here. Are you there, Stephanie?
Yes, hey, how you doing?
Good. Just real quick with your question because we only have a few seconds.
Okay, real quick question. I have a dog who just had sarcoma cancer. She's a tripod. We had 2 options and we got rid of the leg. That was the best option for us.
Okay.
But the previous question is, yeah, definitely shop around because one doctor wanted to charge us double the amount that we went to another vet, and did a wonderful job. But we had to change her diet from a certain dog food to a grain-free dog food, which is ridiculous because the cost of the money in the dog food, don't get me wrong, because I love my dog and I'll feed it the most expensive food.
I don't think that, why did you change to a grain-free diet? Because I'm not a believer of the grain-free movement.
I like to hear that because that's what the vet told us.
It's not like your dog has allergies, right? Or something like that?
Oh, no, my dog does not have allergies.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything I'll have to do a little bit of research and see if there's anything that is contradictory for our sarcoma.
A sarcoma is a cancer. What is that? What would that? Is that a tumor?
I'm thinking it was an osteosarcoma, a bone tumor, and had a leg removed. I don't know. I did not. I'm totally making some assumptions here.
Beyond that, unless there's some special thing for a cancer treatment to go grain-free, why is it you believe grains are good for the animals to a degree, or why do you not like going grain-free?
There's actually, I've been saying this for years, but now I actually have studies to back it up. There are dogs that are going into heart failure because they're not getting grains, which include some taurine and other things that the heart needs. So unless your dog has been diagnosed either by skin testing or blood testing allergic to a specific grain, it's the trendy thing to do, and it's annoying. Everybody has been gluten-free, so then dogs started going grain-free. If a dog goes out in the wild, or a wolf goes out and kills a deer, what's the first thing they eat?
I don't know what they eat first. I'm
What,
glad, you know
Nick?
what? I'm really glad I don't know the answer
Okay.
to that. I don't want to know what the first thing
They
a
eat the
wolf
guts.
eats.
They
Oh,
eat
great.
the insides.
That's great.
Because that's where the biggest concentration of nutrients
But
is.
it doesn't
the liver.
taste good.
Shh, it
Okay.
does to them. Liver, kidney, all of the organ meat is very, very
Give
nutritious.
me the backstrap on that deer.
I understand.
We can cook it up
You
and be a
can
good
share
roast.
it.
Okay.
But they also eat the intestines and the stomach. What's inside the intestines and the stomach of a deer?
Well, whatever they ate.
What do
Probably
they
grains.
eat?
Yeah,
Yes!
grains and veggies and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Grains are a natural
Okay,
part
so
of
that's because I was about to say, a lot of people think, well, wolves are just eating meat. No, they're getting not just the flesh from the animals they kill, but what
and
you
do
said.
you know what
That's a great point.
byproducts are that we put in dog food? Organ meat, liver, kidney, olive, spleen, all of the organs that are super nutritious that are on menus in other countries for humans, but here we have some, you know, problem as a society with eating organ meat or stuff like that, but it's really good for you.
How about you one of these nights inviting me over for liver and onions?
I don't cook liver and onions because it smells up the house, but I do know where you find the best fried chicken livers in town.
Oh, sounds good. Hey, listen, Allison, it's good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you for coming on. We'll take a
Thank
break. Wrap up programming note right after this.